All right, hey, everybody. We're a bunch of college students during COVID. We're seniors at NYU. And today we want to talk specifically to incoming college freshmen about how to navigate the friend process and garner friends to equip at your disposal, and how specifically to make those friends during a pandemic like this. And also we wanted to brief that the reason that we are all together right now is because
we gotta introduce ourselves first.
We're all dating. What? That's why we're together in person right now.
That was our introduction.
That's our introductory. We are a polyamorous.
Yeah. Which leads us to our first tip, actually.
Yes.
Fuck everyone.
No, but in all seriousness, if your parents are watching this over your shoulder, we're giving you a disclaimer. We are in relationships. So we're all in two different bubbles, but we've become one bubble together since we're alternating between apartments anyway.
Names.
I am Susan Cavalcanti. I'm a musical theater major at Tisch.
Very cool. My name is Shun Fu. I'm a dramatic writing major at
Speak up a little bit, Shun.
I'm Christina Gayton, and I am in Gallatin making a major of digital media, marketing, and film.
I am Sanjay Gupta. I am in Steinhardt music composition. I'm in the film scoring program.
Woo!
Scoring for screens, whatever they want to call it. They've changed the name for that thing like 3 times since I've been here.
They're testing your wits. You can only stay on if you pick it up.
Yeah.
So to kick it off, would we like to start with how we specifically found our friends at NYU?
Sounds good. Very smart.
Thanks.
Do you want to start, Tina?
Thanks. Yeah. Okay, so when I came to NYU, I was definitely on the lookout for friends, and trust me, it can be lonely. You'll know soon that you'll be crying in your bed before you know it. Because although I wasn't homesick, I was very friend sick since I didn't have that tight group of friends. Even if you do have people to talk to, it might feel alienating in that you don't have people to talk with deep things about, that, people that you knew during childhood or something. So, free beer, for instance. I'm not endorsing you to drink beer underage.
What is free beer? What is that?
Free beer is a sketch comedy group at NYU that me and this person, Shun, is a part of. And it's an organization, super prestigious at NYU, sketch comedy, that I joined, auditioned for, and was accepted into. It's really not that.
Out of hundreds of applicants.
Anyways, I literally remember I was at the Meadows, like the music festival, and I was by myself because my friend had went off somewhere else, and I was just so sad, and I was like, I want friends so badly. And I was waiting for the free beer response to find out if I got in, and then I did, and I was like, God is real. Thank you. And so clubs, I don't think I would be here with these people if it weren't for that club. I did meet Susan prior to free beer through, I think, some short film that we were getting involved in on Facebook.
And then again when we were auditioning for clubs.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think we would have maintained our friendship if it weren't for Shun and I being in the same friend group. And then I also met my boyfriend at a free beer show because he came to watch. So.
Oh wow! Who invited him?
Breed.
Oh wow! Who invited Breed?
I was just thinking if I was to blame.
So that's, I guess, mega tip number 1. Join a club, and I think join a club that you can get really involved in, because you'll meet new people. And then of course I did meet people other ways through like going to a Rick and Morty viewing party, or like talking to people in my dorm. But that's definitely going to be harder during COVID, which we'll get into that.
Let me speak to the incels out there real quick, okay? Because if you're here for me, you're here for incels.
We've established our own relationship.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's not involuntarily celibate.
Oh, okay.
So like, if you've ever posted on some sort of incel forum, or you've ever posted on some sort of Volcel forum, like generally the advice that you get is things like, oh yeah, just like go out and do things, take a shower, go like work out, right?
You can meet people in the shower.
Yeah, but that's so true. When you go work out, you meet people there. when you go do activities, go like for the activity. You will naturally meet people having just done the activities. And if you shower, that's always very nice.
That's true.
To other people. Other people, I think, would appreciate that. I know I would, and you wouldn't want to let me down by not showering, would you?
Yeah, I feel like for me, one thing, Shun became my closest friend freshman year and has remained my single super close friend. And I think something that was really appealing about him is Shun has, yes, but I'm a lot to handle, so I need someone who can handle all of it. And
she is a lot of woman.
A whole lot of woman. But I...
It's a family show.
Oh. But Shun just naturally smells really good. Like, he never is stinky. Like, even if he doesn't shower, you wouldn't know. And I think that was a huge part of why I liked him. I wasn't conscious of it until years later when I really found out
Your
why.
friendship is based off of scents?
Yeah.
It's called pheromones. Look it up.
No, not exactly.
When you take a shower, you wash off all of your pheromones.
No, I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying if you can get away with not showering and seeming like you're always super clean, by all means do it. But most people are normal and they need showers. And you could meet someone just because you showered, even if you just stay indoors.
That's tip number 2, everybody. Shower.
Especially during COVID.
On the thing that Shun was talking about with going to activities, I feel like that's also very important, because when I did get in a deep funk freshman year of just like, oh, I miss my friends, that kind of thing, sometimes I didn't want to go out to parties. Like, I craved this social connection, but I just, like, I felt attached to my bed. Like, I don't want to make the effort of getting up and out.
At the same time, though, do be careful of parties early on, because there's, like, a big season of, like, really overpriced shit and, like, bad parties.
Oh, we can get into that. Yeah. But, yeah, I think it's really important to try and convince yourself to go out and sometimes do things that you don't want to do, and you might end up enjoying the fact that you went out later, like, oh, I'm glad I really forced myself to get out there, but also recognize, like, you might not be a party animal and figure out other avenues of having fun. And of course, during COVID, there really aren't going to be parties, at least not parties you should be at.
If there are and you go, you need to block us because we despise you.
Yeah,
that's
no, we feel sorry for you, but we despise you.
But there will be online parties, I'm sure, and yes, online parties, events, and things. And I think just pay attention to the NYU emails. NYU does have a lot of good events, and even if they are going to be online now, and yes.
Well, Sanjay, how'd you meet your close friends freshman year?
Well, freshman year, actually, I noticed, at least at NYU during Welcome Week, I don't know what they're doing for Welcome Week this year. Did you guys do some research on this, right?
They're doing Welcome Week. The events have started, actually, already.
Okay.
There's always Welcome Week, actually, every year. There's one for freshmen, and then there's one for returning students. So next year, you will get an in-person, hopefully, Welcome Week, where you can also meet friends. It's going to be a hot spot for friendship, too. But yeah, there's still events going on, and they're all remote.
Yeah, because what I remember is, like, the whole week, even before I even went to my first college class, was just a massive, like, networking party fest, because everyone was down to meet everyone. Like, it was a very almost, like, magical, critical period I can think of, where, like, most of the connections I had all of freshman year, I made during Welcome Week. Not that you should have to do it that way, but I'm saying that it's a great time because everyone is so down to talk. Everyone, like...
Yeah, everyone wants to
strangers,
friend.
like, you go on these walks through... Oh, they're not going to do those. But, and no sorts of gathering things, but...
no more Welcome Week kissing booth.
Yeah.
However...
No more Welcome Week orgies.
Did the friendships last past freshman year?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, to be fair, like, there are some specific circumstances where I don't talk to some people, but those are very specific, like, things. Mm-hmm. I can't say it had anything to do with the fact that I made friends with them during Welcome Week, but...
Yeah.
I remember I have this one friend, Adam. Shout out to Adam. He was someone that I met freshman year in my dorm really early on, and then we kind of lost touch after a while, but then we both went to the NYU LA program this past semester and reconnected, and it was totally awesome.
The Cucks fan guy?
Yes, yeah. It was totally awesome to have someone that I knew in the NYU LA program, and we reconnected, and now, yeah.
Yeah,
I met Shun freshman year, right?
That's not true.
Yeah, we were in the same program.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So one activity that's like that where I met a lot of my friends doing was like going to class, man. Like that's
stay
what,
in school.
And honestly, right now with the lack of social gatherings, class is probably going to be the biggest sort of safe gathering you can have.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah. Especially depending on your major, especially if it's something in the arts, these people, it's sort of like the welcome week. These people are always looking for people to collaborate with. These people are always looking for people to talk to network with, to help them, to accompany them, to hold them.
Hold them.
You name it, I'll do it.
Yeah. For me, one thing. This isn't related to my freshman year experience, but I'm gonna throw it in there. We both did an internship together remotely this summer with a campaign, and I had another internship as well that did a much worse job at this, but they did a pretty good job at having like check-ins and like having everyone gather in more of like a hangout chill way through Zoom so we could actually meet each other. And while those things can seem annoying, if your teachers aren't doing it, I would totally suggest it, because then you can actually get to know the people in your classes. Also, something is like adding them on Instagram and just like seeing their story and commenting on it. That kind of makes you not just be a stranger, and it can like help start a connection. Something Shun did freshman years. You messaged everyone on Snapchat, right?
Yeah. Well,
but only because I wanted to message you. So
yeah.
No,
it's true.
Yeah.
I messaged everybody on my floor. But just because I knew you were on my floor, so I could talk to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually didn't care about anything that they said.
Oh, so maybe develop a crush, and it's gonna like keep you motivated to make friends too.
I started talking to Tina like through a story reply too.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a picture of I was eating like pizza on a film set or something like that, and he. What do you say? He was like, pizza, bazaar, paparazzi. There's a pun there. Yeah.
That's cute.
I think this goes to say don't be shy. Reach out to people, like add them on Instagram or message them. Ask to have like an online Netflix party or whatever. Play online Jackbox. Yeah. And people will love to have friends, and if they do shoot you down, or like even if they're flaky and just kind of don't respond to you, that's not a reflection on you, that's a reflection on them generally.
Also, it could be a reflection on your methods. Like, I get super as in like I get super anxious about having like FaceTiming even my closest friends. So like it's although Zoom is a thing and is a great way to meet people and get close to people, texting is also okay. If like during your first weeks you're mostly just texting people, it sucks because you're not really making a lot of memories. It's a lot harder to make memories if you're not even like looking at each other. But if it makes you comfortable, or if it makes them comfortable, it's always a tactic you can use to not really push FaceTime or online meaningful interactions, because I know that could have, if anything, pushed me away. Something else, I don't, does anyone have an update on the dining hall situation?
Yeah, they still all have not passed their health inspections.
Oh, that's true.
Yay. One thing I briefly wanted to talk about, just real quick, since I'm involved in it, is Greek life.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So,
that's true.
Yeah,
sounded Jamaican. I was just thinking, like, why does that sound Jamaican?
Your Greek accent.
So Greek life is still happening. Recruitment is still happening, and I would say if you are interested in getting involved in Greek life, definitely do it freshman year, even though it is remote recruitment. Like, they're obviously not going to be shoving a bunch of girls and lads into a room to talk to each other. But yeah, definitely do it even though it's online, and they still might have some like one-on-one coffee dates, I think, from what I've heard.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, basically events online, recruitment online, and in the Greek system, they're always looking to recruit freshmen first and foremost. So if you really want to be a part of Greek life, I would recommend freshman year. Being a freshman, I guess.
Or lying about it, they can't check.
But also, if you do want to go Greek, don't get too encapsulated in the process. I know everyone says that, but like, there is a lot of toxicity, and also like, I know sexual assault in Greek life still, as there are with Greek life throughout the nation. So be careful and love yourself.
Yeah, with that, one thing I want to say is most of my tips really come from this main friendship. And it works because we're both very anxious about making friends. But something else is if you do get into a relationship freshman year, it's just, and that's something I was aware of then, but that's still, it's hard in practice, and I don't regret it at all. But it is a thing, like if you have no friends and you find someone that you're romantically interested in, they like you, that puts you in a vulnerable position. So maybe if that does start happening, if anything, reinvest in making friends, or at least reinvest in reconnecting with your friends from home. Like I've recently started doing weekly calls with my friends from high school, and I feel like I'm getting closer to them while still feeling more like I have this space. And I wouldn't if we didn't like force the weekly calls. So yeah, while romantic interest can be super helpful and were super helpful to me, I'd be careful with.
Don't let it be your only friend freshman year, because they might end and then you might be friendless.
Nobody likes those people.
We have, yes, that happens. I've heard plenty of stories where people, they date freshman year and that's like the only person they're talking to. Sophomore year rolls around and maybe they break up, and then this person finds out that they didn't make really any other strong bonds freshman year. So I would say that's true not only with relationships, also with, Greek life, honestly, too. Like, one of the reasons why I say don't rush freshman year is because it helps you make other friends in addition to your sorority or fraternity friends. But I think you can also still rush freshman year as long as you're cognizant of that and actively try to make friends outside of Greek life as well, outside of your relationship, outside of, whatever it is.
Do you have any hot takes here?
Yeah. So
hot take corner.
One thing, yeah. So, it's important to be a Renaissance person. It's important to be interdisciplinary. It's important to not just, like, branch out because you like doing things, but branch out because you like, I don't know. Branching out, meeting new people, having all of these other groups that you can do things with, that you don't just rely on because of one process or one activity. Because then that activity might get fucked because of COVID, and then you're going to lose your connection to all your friends. What are you going to do? I don't know what you could do. What did we do? We started a podcast.
Does anyone want some water?
Sure,
okay.
we'll have a little water.
So, okay. So what are some of our favorite things to do online that you can do with friends during COVID, or like socially distanced things? Well, 3 things that I can think of just off the top of my head. Netflix Party, that website where you can watch Netflix together and it syncs up and then you can type in a little chat box.
Yeah.
Jackbox games. I think Jackbox costs like $5 or $10 or something. I don't know. It's something under $20.
If one person has it though, everyone can play it. So
or maybe it's 25.
I don't know. Group investment.
Yeah. One person buys it. Everyone can play it. They have a bunch of fun like online games that you can play with each other. And 3. A murder mystery party. One of my friends, she's a writer, so she wrote some murder mysteries, and that's something we've been doing. I know there's also ones that you can get them online or buy them online. So online murder mystery parties have been super fun. And what else was I thinking of?
Go on.
Oh, and then a socially distant thing you can do if you do find a small niche group that you are like, okay, this is my bubble, the people that I interact with on a daily basis, and I do not go outside of this bubble. You could go to Central Park, for instance, or any sort of park and have a picnic.
That's true. For me, something that was really exciting about coming to New York City was the comedy scene. And while you can't really see a lot of those shows in person, there have been apparently some shows in the park with social distancing. So I would watch out for those. That's how I found out about a lot of the comedy places at first. I wasn't even interested in doing it. I just wanted to watch. And I found it out through Facebook events, and they're still having some Facebook events for remote things, and it can be a fun thing to invite someone to watch with you. And yeah, so there is the UCB character shows that are going on every week. The Pit's doing shows on their Facebook page. You can find most stuff either on Facebook or YouTube, and then ask a friend to watch it. They're short too, so it doesn't feel like as much of a commitment sometimes as a movie or like starting a show together. It's a 20-minute, maximum an hour show with breaks that you can probably pause. And comedy. Comedy is always easier to watch.
All right.
For me.
What?
Bowlmore Chelsea Piers, Rabs County Lanes,
What's
White
that?
Stone Lanes.
Are you looking at bowling?
These are just names of these are names of just some bowling alleys that you could be going to right now in the time of coronavirus.
Oh.
But isn't it being in an interior environment that increases the chances of getting COVID because there's not because of the airflow.
Well, being in an environment where you could knock pins over with a 6-pound ball, that gives me a thrill.
Well,
I do like bowling.
Yeah, I know.
I personally don't think bowling is a thing.
Bowling is fun.
It's fun, but I don't think it needs to happen during COVID.
Hot take.
You know?
Bowling is fun.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Going jumping kind of similar to like the Jackbox point. A Wii U is like what, $250, and Wii Sports Club is like $60.
Oh, Wii U's got to be way less than that
A
now.
Wii U, maybe. So for like less than $300, all of you can have like some sort of like social distance, like online bowling party.
Oh, that's
The
cool.
Wii bowling. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, D&D.
Oh, D&D.
And
Yeah.
activities with your roommates. Like if you have any roommates. Also, I think figuring out who's going to be your roommate sophomore year is a huge thing. I don't know if we would have stayed as close if we didn't live together.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, I mean, your freshman year roommates might not be your best friends for life, but they are people who are stuck with you, mainly with online classes. So if you want to, even if you have just an in-person game to play with them, like Cards Against Humanity, which is now
Bananagrams.
online.
I love
Bananagram.
Bananagrams. That's a great game. I love playing Mafia too. If you haven't heard of the game Mafia, then just look it up. Most people have though. Good game to play.
Yeah.
A Wii U, a used Wii U, is only $145 at Walmart.
Okay.
So if everybody,
Regular Wii.
so up to 4 people can play Wii bowling at one time on Wii Sports Club, which is the online version of Wii Sports for the Wii U. So that's whatever, 145 times 4, and then 4 copies of.
Ooh, and a regular
Wii
Wii
Sports
is
Club.
only $80.
This is prime time. This is a buyer's market right
The
now.
other thing is we don't want to be encouraging you spending money, but also a lot of things people do is go out to parties, or like one drink is so expensive, a fake ID, which you
But
is
COVID.
expensive.
Okay.
Right, but with COVID,
If
you don't
you're-
have all those spendings.
That's
So you
true,
could
that's
redirect
true.
your funding
That-
towards
oh, that's
something
true,
that's
okay.
fun.
I just
and
want to
safe.
say this: if you want bars and drinking and like that crowd is something you might be interested in, you need a fake.
But during COVID, I would not recommend you making that
during
investment.
COVID, no. But
So it's
just looking for it. You need it. You need it. You might think you don't. You need it.
I do feel like not having. Oh my god, I don't know if we're allowed to be having this conversation. Not having a fake did get in the way of me making friends freshman year.
It did for me.
But at the same time, like, mainly, I would say, first of all, during COVID, I think drinking is pretty dangerous because you're more likely to engage with reckless behavior.
Oh
that
yeah,
is
no,
much more
not
dangerous.
now. Not now.
But
Yeah.
also,
And you can't drink with a mask on.
one thing I was gonna, yeah, and one
Unless
thing,
you make it one of those cut in half masks where you like open your mouth up like a crocodile and go. Meh.
like a Canadian in South Park.
Yeah.
But one thing was, I was asking about dining halls because that's how I think I met like all of my friends.
Dining
my
halls?
Yes, and
Really?
Shun helped me with my music theory homework one morning.
That's true.
And then I asked him to eat dinner on his birthday or the day before his birthday, and that's how we like really started hanging out, or at least part of it. My best friend from my program, Quinn, we met because we would have dinner after class. And I think and a lot of other people, Goldshaw, who was our roommate until just today, I met in the dining hall. I was just like, can I sit with you? Or do you want to? Mostly,
Really?
I would see people who weren't eating with anyone, and I would ask them if they wanted to sit with me, because it was both an act of kindness and also a way to bond. And also, common areas in your dorm can be, if Bopes is open, just go there and study. Like Shun said, not with the expectation of, or Tina, with the expectation of meeting anyone, but when these spaces are open, when they can be open, or even like a park could be a substitute. It is complicated, but you could also try to do the same thing remotely. You could message people on your floor and be like, "Oh, are you eating dinner soon? Do you want to call while we eat?" I don't know. It could be hard, but
a lot of friendships and relationships, because I know you're all little relationship-seeking gremlins.
100%, yeah.
A lot of friendships and relationships, from what I've heard, can start through Insta DMs. So, yeah.
Also, I think it's important just to not have too much anxiety over what people think of you, especially in like the first few weeks of school, because most of these people you're never going to see again.
Yeah.
And you have, and not almost, if you're going to, unless you have like friends from high school that are coming with you to your college, you have a complete chance to just sort of reintroduce yourself to the world and like solidify what you feel your perception of yourself can be. And everyone else is doing the same thing. So there's this environment of burgeoning adult conversation and all that sort of stuff that, I don't know, I remember being amazing. Of course, now we've kind of, in our later years, we've kind of done the thing where we peel away from that sort of environment and enter our insular sort of groups, because we have like lots of meaningful connections now. And
we're leaving everybody else for the youngins, leaving all of the friends we didn't make. To you.
The scrap.
No, but I mean, like, I'd say a similar thing happens like what happened in high school. You know how in freshman year the whole class was friends. Sophomore year it shrunk a little bit. Junior year shrunk a little bit, and then senior year.
Oh, they were all friends.
And then senior year, you have like 2 friends. At least that was my trajectory.
And then after you graduate,
you have none.
I don't really talk to my high school friends much, but.
I guess I have a couple questions that I would like to ask everyone. I'll start with the first. I guess if you could tell your younger freshman self one thing in regards to the topic of college and friends, what would that be?
I'll go first. Very easy. NYU has a terrible wellness program, which we'll get into it later for sure. It's going to keep coming up. Awful. And I kept, like, early on, I was like, I really want to be having, like, therapy and all of that. It's just, it's such an easy way to kind of stay grounded and focus. Even career-wise, it just helps you set goals. And it's included in your insurance, but it's awful. It's so hard to make appointments. Most of them are so incompetent. There's such a large turnout, or quick turnout, that you don't stick with them for long at all. So I would highly recommend using your insurance, finding a remote therapist in the city, and doing that as soon as you kind of feel like it can just help you so much start with the right foot. And then you have to waste so much time like changing your habits. You can establish them from the get-go. So that's my suggestion. I don't know if I'm quite answering the question, but that's super important if you feel like it. But other mental health things are also super helpful.
Okay. Well, I'll go with my thing. My advice is very simple, very cliche, or it is a shibboleth, joke from a different video. And it's be yourself. I feel like...
Cringe.
Whoa!
Hey,
Cringe.
okay.
You want me to be
Guys,
myself?
Guys, wait.
I could be anybody, and you want me to be myself?
Please,
Fuck off.
let me be myself and talk about how I believe in being yourself. So... I feel like a lot of that cliche advice, like, obviously we're told it, like, follow your dreams, be yourself, be a kind person, but, like, I feel like you have to experience it multiple times over to fully grasp it, and I feel like I fully grasp it at this point, after going through the transition of college. Like, when I came in, I definitely did, like many other people, like, I was like, oh, I want to be the best version of myself. And
don't be the best, be your putrid self.
The best version of my putrid self.
Your stinky self.
I want to be my stinky self. And
showering wasn't rule number 2. Go on.
I definitely wanted to fit in all the social circles. But what I didn't fully realize is that being myself, like, the right people truly will like you for you and think that your isms are cool and interesting. Whether it's, like, knowing a lot of geography facts, or liking anime, or playing too much Smash, like,
or being into incel forums.
You want to be yourself, because then you can find the people that you really do vibe with,
She's
rather than
listing all the things she doesn't like.
Rather than trying to
well,
rather than
try to impress cute
rather
girls.
than
Be yourself by
to
yourself.
vibe with someone else. Just.
That being said, though, I do think that there should be some room left for acknowledging
Not
less than optimal behavior about yourself. And, and changing that. The be yourself argument is wonderful, but a lot of the time I see people being like, I'm an asshole, but that's me.
Ooh, yeah, no, don't do that.
Wait, how do you find out what behavior you need to change and what behavior is you and is good? Oh,
I
wait, someone said something. Oh, boy. Oh, therapy. That was it.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, I have two friends, Susan and Maria Cristina, who's my therapist.
Christina?
No, but I'm just saying, like, you should be open to, critical thinking and
oh, yeah.
Don't be a dumbass.
That totally is true. Like, even besides traits of, like, being
college.
an asshole. But, like, I definitely do have, like, with me, I feel like anxiousness and OCD-ness does, like, impede me sometimes making as many friendships as I like, or being, like, a total 100% social butterfly. Mm-hmm. And starting to go to therapy, I've only been, like, a few times. But just hearing, like, the few things that the person was telling me, like, them analyzing my actions, I was like, whoa, I never thought about that. And then I could self-reflect, and when I'm in the moment and I realizing I'm doing something, like, I don't know, like, focusing on a thought or, like, retreating into myself, then I can just be like, wait, stop the process where it is, and then just, you try and change your behavior in the moment. And it's hard at first, but over time you build it up into a habit, and it becomes the new you.
You're so wise and mature.
Being yourself is something that you should be doing out of utility, especially when making friends. Just because it's really easy to burn yourself out being like another person, or being worried about impressing people, or like playing a character all the time in front of other people, and you're going to tire yourself out, and then and your friends will become bored of you once you stop delivering whatever, like, zany character that you were able to whip up for them. They like and they won't hesitate.
Dance monkey.
Yeah, exactly. They won't hesitate to toss you out like a mattress that isn't Casper, incidentally the sponsor of this podcast.
No, it's not.
It's not. I don't actually like that one.
But, like, what if they were? You ruined it.
Yeah.
They were about to.
They were about to sponsor us. No, I'm not a fan of your product, but I will more than happily endorse it if you pay me.
You ruined it.
But if you did decide to sponsor a podcast, the ad read would look a little something like this: Casper, the most comfortable mattress money can buy. Incidentally,
it also is the name of a ghost.
And the ghost would show up on the screen.
It doesn't. Yeah. Either Casper, sponsor us, please.
Or Ghostbusters. I also don't like ghosts.
Oh my God, son.
Now we're never going to be sponsored by ghosts.
Go on, Shun.
But we could be sponsored by the Ghostbusters. That's a point.
Thank you.
Oh, true.
He's got one.
And we also love women. So female Ghostbusters, if you want to sponsor us.
Oh, true.
Okay. Anything else? Oh, yeah.
So be yourself, even if you're, like, female or whatever. Just because it's just because
if that's your preferred.
Yeah, just because, like, long term, it's going to benefit you when you're going to have
female.
Yeah, if you are, then yeah, you should be.
Yeah, I agree. But the other thing I would say with that, though, and we're is, like, don't be too worried about being cringe and annoying and stupid. I'm gonna be honest, all freshmen are. Like, I hate every single one of you, but it's not your fault. Yeah. You are inherently so cringe. So just, like, own that, and, like, at least get some good stories out of it.
Learn from it. Grow from it.
Because if you try to avoid it, then you're gonna have to fix your cringe later on. No, freshman year is a year to be your full power cringe.
But also, don't be debilitatingly afraid of being cringe.
Yeah, don't be, because you are.
Yeah, you are.
So anything else on what you would tell your past self regarding college and friends?
I think we kind of went over.
Oh yeah, keep your faux hawk, dude.
No.
You had such a cool faux hawk freshman year, and I wish you kept it. I wish you kept. You wouldn't get a haircut for like 2 months, but you would keep the haircut. You would keep your hair in a faux hawk, and it was really tall. You would have like a 6-inch faux hawk at the end of the 2 months, and it was awesome.
I would say,
You looked like a troll doll.
Put effort into your food. Don't just eat garbage. That's what I did. And I ate garbage inconsistently, and like my mental, physical, and emotional health all suffered for it.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I think as soon as I started putting like the tiniest amount of effort into cooking every once in a while, or eating something that's not garbage, it made a huge difference.
So
Okay.
I was gonna say, going back to hygiene, if we even recorded that, because God knows when it stopped. I mean, you can destroy me in the comments, and please do, because I would like to know. But natural deodorants, they're not great.
Yeah.
Like, even if it helps with your stench, they smell really bad, and then you're just gonna smell like the stinky deodorant. And going back to smelling good, you could be actually doing the right thing and showering and putting on deodorant and still be so stinky. Yeah. Also, the smell of ball sweat is something you should never have.
That's true. Do not buy ball sweat natural deodorant.
Like, please, I guess shower.
Yeah, no matter how suave the man in Washington Square Park selling it to you may be. No matter how silver his tongue, his balls are still very stinky.
Indeed.
I was looking away to stream stuff.
Yeah, we were just checking
What?
the phone.
What is happening?
You missed it. Boo! You have to watch it. What's the next
Okay.
question, Tina?
Get a gym buddy.
Yeah.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
Go
eat
with
good
one
food.
person. Go to the gym with one other person, and then
I don't think athletic facilities are open
and
right
through
now.
that, okay.
Get
go-
like a
running
like
buddy outside.
yeah,
Yeah.
Zoom gym
Yeah.
with another person.
Zoom gym could work.
And
Yeah,
then
I had a Zoom trainer when I was home for a bit.
you hold each other accountable. You bond because you're releasing so many hormones that make you like trust each other or
Yeah.
whatever. Or
Yeah.
whatever the physiological effects
And you
is.
feel hotter. Like,
you
even
feel,
if
you watch each other, you watch the other person get hotter, and through adversity grows love, maybe.
Maybe. So
Get like one of those little pull-up bars for the doorways.
before getting into our next question, I would like to take a brief 15 seconds to talk about our not sponsor. I just want to confirm that this is a parody of a sponsor, and that we are not sponsored by any company named Casper or HelloFresh. Okay.
We are sponsored by Caspor and Holly Frosh.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, I hope there's not a company called that. And then my question, number
Relax,
2.
nobody's watching this.
You're right, nobody's watching.
Nobody's
Another tip,
watching this.
don't be a party pooper. I'm kidding. We like Tina because she's not afraid to be a party pooper, which is what she is.
Sometimes you need someone to just poop on the rug.
They like me for my poop.
That is actually true.
So my second question was, do you notice any pattern? Now I'm asking this because I have noticed a pattern with myself. A pattern in the friends that you made, early on in college, like which type of friends have lasted longer?
Yeah.
For me, it's the cringe lords, and I'd always seek them out.
He just called us cringe lords.
I know. Okay, I can spot a cringe lord from a kilometer away. Okay, and so I remember one of the first days of class. There was a rather well built young man drawing on his hand with a pencil. That was cringe, I thought to myself, because that's not going to make a mark.
And also because he's a freshman, so obviously.
And obviously because he was a freshman. But in order to court cringe lords, don't point out that they're cringe. Indulge their cringe. And now
Start drawing on their hand with your
Yeah.
pencil.
I was like, oh my god, what are you doing? That's so zany, Zarek.
We love
And he like said something cringy, and then we became friends. And through that...
Zarek is the fucking cringiest person.
He is. Friend of the pod, Zarek.
Cuxketeer Zarek.
And through him, I'm friends with Sanj.
Yeah, that is pretty much how we became friends.
Yeah, and through Sanj, I became friends with Susan. And
No.
Wait.
This is backwards.
No, that's not how it went.
Do you have a specific pattern, Tina?
Yeah. So I was thinking about it. I was like, which of my friends have really lasted to the point where we like keep talking and stuff? And those are people that I can collaborate with on something.
Oh.
Yeah, like this group, obviously. And I'm not. Yeah, I wanted to say collaborate because we're not all in the same major. We're not all in the same industry technically. Like, you know, Sanjay is music. I don't do music.
I am music.
He is music.
We're sponsored by music.
I would just like to say that this is a parody. We're not actually sponsored by music.
So, yeah, people I can collaborate with. Obviously, these people, but also, like, some other friends, like Leah, for instance. I met her through slam poetry, and although we do not collaborate in poetry at all, she is a writer, and she writes, like, web series, fictional podcasts, and so we do stuff there. And, like, having that is, like, a work and bonding experience, and you can't get rid of your work, so, like, you're just inherently drawn to those people because you need to keep, like, working at stuff. And then, of course, we also do, like, other stuff, like Murder Mystery Party or whatever. So, yeah, people that you can collaborate with, I've noticed.
I was going to say the same thing. The longest-lasting friendships I've had have been people who I get also some sort of business partner, which may some sort of business partnership out of, which, you know, maybe it's just because I'm pragmatic and value capital over human life. But I don't know, where was I going with this? You know, like most of my best friends
you just value capital over human life.
Most of my best friends are you know, musicians and people I've met through music stuff and making stuff together. And like I think the biggest thing for me is the humor sense, and the friends that have lasted the longest have had the closest sense of humor to mine, and the most open mind and lack of judgment between us, you know. Like, I don't know, my best friend Breed, he lives here with us.
Friend of the pod.
Breed. He's been on an episode. Like, we have the exact same sense of humor, and there's
which is just
like
saying bussy.
it's absurdist.
It is funny.
It's absurdist idiot.
It's so
memes.
deep absurdist you wouldn't understand the
No,
humor
like,
of
dude,
Bussy.
like fucking stick bug. Do you know like stick bug?
Sort of just neo-Dadaism.
Yeah.
Just sort of like a rejection of any sort of comedic standard.
Any sort of cause or effect.
It's like a rejection of being funny.
Or 2000s humor.
But I mean, we also do say really funny shit that's not that. But I just say
yeah, like Venus too. You
shut
also
up,
say that.
Shut up,
that's another
Shun.
word.
Not everybody's a comedy writer.
I do feel like I agree with that, and it's so cool that you guys said that because I actually didn't know that you felt that way. I have so much anxiety about hanging out with people. I feel like I have to be doing something and being productive, and if I'm not being productive, I'm like super anxious about not being productive. So life is pretty sucky. But when you're collaborating with people, you get to like slowly be productive while having fun.
True.
And it can be so refreshing. But now that I know that that's a thing you guys are interested in, like I guess I sort of must have known in the back of my mind because we do stuff together. It just feels so good it feels like an open door of like, oh, I can ask you guys to collaborate and you might actually really find that refreshing too. So yeah, that's super cool, and it might be a pattern with NYU kids. Maybe it could be part of the type they tend to accept, or not. It could just be because we're friends. It happens to be that. But another thing is, maybe the willingness to have like interesting debates and conversations. Hopefully with the intent of growing together. But
too many people are only willing to have boring ass conversations.
Well,
That's not true at all.
Everyone thinks they're interesting, but it's like you don't get to have a friendship where you can have real serious conversations if you don't actually start the real serious conversations.
Yeah.
And open up a little bit. And like even get into fights, like you're friends with someone if you allow yourself to argue with them.
Yeah, I think with regards to lack of getting too deeper conversation, like you were saying, that's what I think a really good time to talk about the critical period about Welcome Week. Because like for me, for every conversation I had with someone like during Welcome Week, like started off like swapping party stories or just like superficial bullshit, and then like by the end of the night it was like deep and like what the fuck do you think about life, man? Who are you?
I am of the opinion that deep down, the vast majority of people want to spill their beans.
Yeah.
They want to spill their personal innards,
Beans.
and they want to put it on a table for you to eat up. We like sharing things with people and feeling intimate. Like, when it gets to that point of night, and everyone's, still kind of drunk, and they're,
or drunk on happiness.
Or, yeah, even just, even sober, but, like,
you don't
those
have
moments?
to do drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't drink a lot, and they don't either.
I do.
He does. But, those moments when you're a kid at sleepovers, and, it's gonna run out of sleep. Okay, cool. So those moments when you're really young, and you get to that, when it's dark, you have the cloak of darkness to shield your face and your identity, and you feel that you can be more vulnerable, and you can share the fact that you have a crush on Sandra.
Yeah.
It's
It
okay.
only happens because it's dark, so you can't see other people cringing.
Yeah.
Or you think they would be.
Yeah, unless they have really white teeth.
So I feel like the vast majority of people don't change, and deep down we're all just those little elementary schoolers who just, want to share our little secrets and talk to people and get to know people.
Yeah.
Did you try to lick Susan?
No, I tried to lick her teeth.
Yeah, you'll find people who like match. Maybe like this is really, really weird. Or maybe it's like really cool, and like if it is, that means you passed the test and you can DM us. Yeah, I mean asking questions is a whole thing that
we don't talk to freshmen though.
Oh, true. And they are
We only talk at them.
Yeah.
They're only allowed to speak when spoken to.
But asking questions is a whole thing that's like a suggestion when like making friends, because people want to talk
totally.
about themselves.
Yeah, literally just like
It's
pull
true.
up one of those like 175 questions to ask your friends.
Or the 32 fall in love questions. That works with friends.
Fall
as
in
well.
love with all of
Or
your
36.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
platonic
love your
love.
friends.
Yeah.
Like, if you remember, the first thing that Rowley Jefferson ever said to Greg Heffley, which was, knock, knock,
Zooey mama.
Who's there?
thermos.
Thermos who?
There must be a way to make you laugh. So,
Well, that wasn't it.
So getting a joke book or something like that,
Or like
can
a
be,
Diary of a Wimpy Kid and just read
can-
it at them.
So yeah, getting some sort of joke book, getting some sort of knock knock joke book, looking up.
Carry a
good-
joke book around with you constantly.
Or a recorder.
Yeah, or some sort of recorder, or just anything to really farm the yucks. That really goes a long way.
The other thing is, what was the question? But one thing that I really liked about Shun was, he really, I guess I knew a lot about theater, sort of, and he knew a lot about comedy, and we liked talking at each other, but we liked listening because we still cared, even though that wasn't our area of expertise, and so, I guess not being shy to, maybe talk at people a little bit if they seem interested. Because I feel like otherwise I wouldn't have liked you if I didn't respect you.
Well, yeah, that's actually very true. Just like Sanjay said, I'm only friends with anyone because I feel like I can use them to do stuff with.
Yeah.
Just because it's really difficult. Maybe this is just a me problem, but I find it very difficult to hang out with people. That's very difficult for me.
Yeah.
And so if you were to do something or to just have some sort of process or activity to fill up moments where you can't necessarily talk, or you're trying to remember a joke from the cool joke book.
You're not carrying the joke book with you?
I am carrying the joke book with
then
me.
Remember where you put it?
Yeah, so sometimes they take time to rehearse.
It's right there.
It's my penis. That's not a joke book, dumbass. That's my penis.
It's just a joke. Oh! Oh!
He read that in the joke book.
Oh!
He's been practicing.
I'm sorry.
So, from what it sounds like, would the both of you say that in the past or currently you've had trouble with just, sitting and chilling with friends and not doing any work or anything semi-productive with them or talking about anything productive with them and just talking about, like, you know, I don't know, the
that's
brunch
more of a
or something.
personality thing. So I mean, you guys would have the authority to speak on that because I'm not
very
that way
difficult
at all.
for me.
I'm good just like
yeah, that's what I didn't ask you because you don't seem like that. I'm asking
yeah,
that's why I'm asking them.
Impossibly difficult.
It is incredibly difficult for me.
Yeah, I feel like I have also had that problem in the past, and I've slowly gotten better at it because I felt like I wasn't separating work and social life enough. And of course, there are areas for it to blend, like we are right now.
You work in social media. It can be hard.
Yeah.
True.
So I think it's really important with friendships and work. Like, you know, work with your friends if you can. Like this is fun. It's work, quote unquote, I guess, because it's something creative. But make sure you have a distinction too. Like, I've definitely gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, weekends, that means no work time. That means I'm just chilling and having...
Tina time.
It's Tina time. And having that distinction, I think, has done a lot for me to just, like, vegetate. And by the time the weekend's over at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to work again. Because they've done studies. I can't cite the exact study because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I know exactly what it said. It said that if you work above a certain amount of hours... you are going to be less productive in those hours than if you just worked, say, 35 hours.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Don't feel bad about just socializing and chilling. Life can wait. Work life can wait.
Life cannot. Work can wait. Life cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a difficult thing. I don't know how much time we have on the pod left.
8 minutes?
Like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Because I think something difficult is because all of high school, I really pushed and pushed, and it's just a question that I think could be relevant to them, or even like a discussion of it, because I don't know if there's an answer. I pushed super hard, and I really did achieve exactly what I wanted, like a success 100%. But I don't, not because of necessarily that I got better at it, but because the fact that I tried so hard was pretty, like, impressive and the kind of thing that gets you places. But I was miserable for every second. I have the best friends that were my friends in high school. I didn't even have lunch with them because I was working so hard. And then now I'm trying to work more efficiently. But at the same time, I see people that work longer hours, and they have that drive, and I'm scared that that's going to get them to the place that they want to be, because I see them being successful too and getting there. So it's like, how do you balance that? Because hard work pays off, Like, what if you don't have the gifts where you can really, like, how many hours of friendship time do you recommend a week, maybe?
Yeah, I think
friendship time.
It definitely is a hard balance to reach, and I don't think there is any exact science for it because it varies per person.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of the statement that I believe Gary Vee made, something along the lines of, like, close your eyes until you're 30. With the ideas of just, hunkering down and really working hard. Because I think it is true that even if, like, 100 hours, you're not going to be as productive as you would be with 35 hours, the overall volume still might be higher, even if per hour it's smaller. So you could do that, but it's up to your choice. No, Gary Vee says you should do that.
Oh,
that you should just, like, work
Sorry,
a bajillion
Gary.
hours until you're 30 to get to where you want to be.
Why?
But yeah, I think it's up to your value of determining exactly what you want to do. I don't think I would want to do that. I would rather achieve my success later in life rather than hustling right now, because I also think that achieving that success, because if happiness and satisfaction, whether it be at the individual or group level, is the goal of life, then I think not hunkering down is good.
I wouldn't say happiness or satisfaction is the goal of life. There is no goal of life, but we enjoy happiness or satisfaction, so go for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I feel like it's something to say, and we will address this in another secondary kind of show. But the systemic issues that causes, so we are not expected to have a life outside of work, or if you are, it's supposed to be kind of like the Japanese, like the hardworking man. Like, you're supposed to go out to have drinks with these people because it is, like, the way to network and have fun. But yeah, what are the systemic issues we have to address? So you don't have to freak out about like.
Yeah. So anyway, to make friends during COVID and freshman year, what were our tips again?
Tips:
shower,
join clubs.
Shave.
Feel free to join a bunch of clubs and figure out which club you vibe with
the
best.
The sponsor of this podcast, Hims.
Dollar Shave Club.
Oh fuck!
Perhaps
make sure you don't get sued.
I actually do use
Hims.
Yeah.
From our perspectives, find people you have similar humor to, or that you can collaborate with, or have a similar industry-esque thing too. People who are cringe lords. Yeah.
Which is everyone freshman year.
Yeah.
Well, it's just indulge the cringe lords.
Yeah,
because a lot of the times cringe lords are just people who don't really know how to express things in a not cringe way, and then if you indulge the cringiness, then you can get to their genuine feelings underneath the cringe.
Also, I'm gonna be something else that really helped was I was so scared of I really wanted to make friends with the popular kids in my program, but then I kind of befriended everyone who didn't seem to have a lot of friends. And because they didn't have a lot of people approach them, they appreciated the friendship more, and it made me feel special and made us connect more.
That's awesome.
So it's if you see anyone on an Instagram group or Zoom kind of chat thing or whatever that isn't talking to anyone, go for that person. That's the perfect prey
so
to be a friend.
Susan's like a foster home for friendless
but
people.
But it's not out of pity. I get the friendship out of it too. So I recommend it. Yeah.
Other points we made was be yourself and don't be afraid to reach out to people. Go to therapy or self-analyze stuff that might be stopping you from making friends and what's important to you. It's a constant process of self-analysis. And I think those were basically all our points. Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't feel pressured to do things you don't want to do, especially around drugs, alcohol, partying. But if you are interested, do them responsibly and do them a lot.
And hit us up,
Yeah, I would say that. I am totally open. If you find my info online, I'm the only person with my name.
Don't drink jungle juice.
Oh,
don't drink jungle juice.
But yeah, feel free to message us too with any questions. We're going to keep doing more of, we're going to focus on guiding the freshmen for the meantime. So if you have any questions, we can address them in a full episode. We can just DM you back.
Q&A episode, yeah.
Yeah, so we appreciate it, and we're here for you. And if we don't know about something, we always will know someone who's experienced something like it that can help you out.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to plug the Twitter now.
PM Breakdown.
PM Breakdown.
I think it's probably going to change once we come up with a collective name.
Yeah.
But for now, it's PM Breakdown. I guess maybe we'll make an Instagram and YouTube, too, to post this somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Goodbye.
Clap, 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 clap.